chains.
This is another week where I feel we have not actually conversed at all since last Monday.
There's been no chat vibes.
No.
What's going on?
I think we're
drifting.
We're drifting. I think this is, sort of, there's a lot of gaps in our relationship, isn't there, Pat Sheens?
I think we're drifting. I think this is the beginning of the end for the pod.
I think the thing is, I think you do a lot, I don't. And I think that is the issue. You're always doing shit with other people.
And I think genuinely this, and I think you would agree with this, I'm better at keeping in touch.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So when I'm busy, that can...
Which happens a lot more now, doesn't it? You didn't really have much of a life for a long time, and now you've got a lot. So,
to be honest, when you were in your childless phase and you were really grieving that, you didn't really have a life. Now you've got over that. You're out left, right and centre.
Yeah. I mean, you're never home. You're basically living a single life. You're living a single life, Pat Sheens.
No. I'm home every night, apart from after I've been to the gym.
Well, come Friday night, you're out Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, all day Monday, Tuesday, Friday, family.
We saw our friends Ange and Claire on Saturday night.
Yes. Yeah. And then you're out. We must have been out somewhere Friday as well.
Just saw my friend, just went for a bite to eat with my friend Anna. Not a long one.
Went for a bite to eat with your friend Anna. See, that's what I mean. You're out Friday night, you're out Saturday, you're out Saturday night.
We were over at Malamargs Sunday.
Well, I did go to see the Margs, but earlier in the day.
I know, but we missed you.
What the hell was that?
That was my cat jumping down from the windowsill, but she got her leg caught in the blinds.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh dear. But we are hanging out Saturday.
We are indeed, yes. So, we'll
hang
do
out
this now. We won't talk at all between now and Saturday, and then we'll see each other on Saturday.
And then we'll have a podcast record on Monday.
On Monday, yeah.
We had an email in. Would you like me to share it with you?
Oh, yes, please do, Patsy.
So this email came in from Paul Russ.
Paul Russ, okay.
Yeah,
an email from a man.
Yeah, Paul, yeah.
Okay, then, yeah.
Hi, Ruth and Ange. This is probably really bloody dull for the shitting tits, but it's pissing me off royally.
Okay.
So to start, I have to share that I don't have tits nor jugs. I don't even spend any time with them as I'm a raving gay boy. Right. This item, you both, your incredible podcast, and the brilliant, fucking brilliant woman that brought me into the world do have tits. So, hurrah.
Hurrah for tits. Yes.
So, what is getting on my shitting moobs, I hear you say? Well, I find myself swearing at the TV all over again tonight. As someone that works in the arts, darling.
Oh, yeah, darling, yeah.
I believe everyone should be credited for their work. Everyone. So why? Why, oh fucking why, do Netflix, Prime and all the bloody subscription channels always cut off the bloody credits in order to suck you into the next programme?
Yeah.
Honour the fucking creatives that make this bloody stuff, keeping you all fucking entertained. It drives me crazy that we're all made to disrespect those that make the work happen. Facts, says Joel.
In from, Mr. TV himself. Producer Joel.
Yes, actually, this tit probably is a bit boring, and you'll probably not think it worthy of sharing, but I'm sure you'll appreciate why it pisses me off, even if you don't include it. Girls, I have to say, I love your podcast. Aww. As a man who grew up in a house with 3 sisters and my glorious mum, your podcast is a constant reminder to keep women close, to keep them set in the centre of your life, in fact. They're wise, they make the best of friends, they nurture, steward and make shit happen. I truly wouldn't be the person I am today without the fabulously brilliant women that make my life possible for wobbly, fearful boys like me. Please keep sharing your wisdom, brilliance and realness. It truly brings joy and insight into my journeys to and from work. I laugh out loud and I don't care who's watching. I have to say, James is a bloody lucky man to have you as his sisters. Ruth and Ange, sending this note because I'm bloody pissed, but mainly just in admiration of you both, Paul. Isn't that just the most fantastic email?
Oh, I think I've fallen slightly in love with Paul.
Well, I have actually fallen in love with Paul because my response to him was, Paul, I love this email. Can we be best friends? DM my Instagram immediately. You sound right up my street, Ruth.
Are you free on Friday night?
Well, me and Paul have actually become friends in the last week.
And there we go.
But I just thought that was such a... I mean, he's right. They shouldn't cut off the credits.
They absolutely shouldn't. And, you know, the amount you fucking pay for these subscriptions. Netflix and Amazon Prime.
And Apple TV.
And Apple TV. Prime. You know, it's like, without us paying for it, you wouldn't be getting the money to be able to make the programs that you employ people to do and then cut them all out when they've actually done the work.
Listen, the people behind the scenes.
Listen.
TV wouldn't happen without the likes of producer Joel.
Oh, exactly.
So give them their moment to shine. He's right.
Exactly.
Don't take that away from them. I just felt the email was full of loads of fun, loads of love, loads of I just thought it was so well written.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely loved it. So, Paul, thank you for listening. Yes. We hope you're having a lovely journey to work this Wednesday morning.
Yes, we hope we have brought more joy to your journey.
Thank you for becoming the platonic love of my life.
Just warning you, Paul, this will be it now because she does sort of cling on. So now you've started.
You're being out of order, actually. You're actually being really out of order. That's actually not nice. You're actually a monster for that. You're a monster. Anyway, I thought that was a bloody good email.
It was lovely.
Sharing.
Thank you so much, Paul,
Thanks, Paul,
for getting in touch. So I've got a really good VBP.
Okay, I'm ready.
Ready. The waiter handed me my food and said, "Enjoy your meal." So I said, "Thanks, you too." I immediately cringed, and instead of just leaving it at that, I followed up with, "Sorry, I meant enjoy the next meal you happen to have." He'd already started walking away, so he came back and replied, "Sorry, I didn't quite catch that." Reader, I just wanted to show you that no matter how awkward the situation in which you find yourself, I can beat it.
How do we do that? Oh, have a nice holiday. Yeah, you too. I mean, no, you're not going on holiday.
Have a nice holiday whenever you're going. Yeah. Sorry, what did you say? Actually, do you know what? Don't worry. I've made this really bad.
I thought you were going to share the one that said, at some point in your life, growing cress in school was quite a big deal.
Do you know what? The amount of people that message me going, my 5-year-old has brought home cress to grow.
Yeah.
They're still doing this shit 50 years on.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a really fucking...
Yeah, growing cress. It's cressness. It's egg and cressness.
But also, just like how invested you got in cress.
Cress. Big
deal. You got to 5. You'd never really had cress in your life.
No.
You didn't even really know what it was. You'd never heard of it. All of a sudden, year 1, from like September to the end of the spring term, you're just invested in cress. Yeah. And then you never really think about it again.
No. Until you're probably in your sort of mid-30s and you suddenly fancy egg and cress.
Yeah. Yes. Have you ever heard of lamb's lettuce?
Yes, I have heard of that. Yeah.
I'd never heard of that until this week. I didn't have a clue what it was.
Really? It's a bit like what is it? It's a bit like another sort of lettuce. Baby gem.
It's very tiny, isn't it?
Tiny lambs.
Very small. Also, why is it called lamb's lettuce? I just did that swallow.
Have you ever heard of packing peanuts?
Oh, when you've got erect nipples? She's smuggling peanuts.
Packing peanuts. Have you ever heard of that? Packing peanuts?
No,
Okay, neither had I. And I thought, oh, okay, this is just a thing I've never heard of. But
No, I've never heard of it. Enlighten me, please.
so packing peanuts are,
Yeah.
if you get a package in the post and you got all the like oh, what are they made out of? Like the
those little
spongy
polystyrene things that melt in
yeah,
water. They're
they're
called
called
packing peanuts.
peanuts.
Oh, I just use that term when somebody's got erect nipples. She's smuggling a couple of peanuts. She's not got a bra on and her peanuts are poking me in the eye.
Right, now I have to share this voice note that we got in from our Lucy Price. Lucy loves Rich.
Okay.
Right.
This is going to make me laugh a lot.
This is off the back of last week's episode when we talked about how why is it that some men drive their partners, wives, whatever, to the supermarket, right?
Yeah.
So this is Lucy's take on why she thinks that happens. Okay,
so this is why men drive their partners or girlfriends.
This is her theory.
Her
theory, yeah.
Right.
So, I have a theory about your men that drive the women to the supermarkets. It's because the women think, after you fucking everything in this house, he can bloody well take me. But then they get there and then they think, well, I don't want him to come in because I might end up down the bloody DIY aisle or something like that. Or he'll be looking at what I'm buying and saying, oh, we should get this because this is 3p and a half cheaper. Or he'll put random shit in the trolley like my husband does. So they're thinking, no, you can fucking stay there. That's your punishment. You stop there. I'm going in, you see, and then you come out. He can get out. He can put the bags in the car. He can put the trolley back. You just get in. Some women are made to be driven. But that's my theory on it, is that, women think I have to do fucking everything in this house, but they don't actually want to take the men shopping with them.
Women have to do fucking everything in this house.
Now, basically, what we're saying there is men are like children. Because nobody wants to go to the shop with their 5-year-old because they put random shit in and you end up taking it out. No, you're not having that. You're not having that. No, you're not having that. You end up down the kids' aisle for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Can I have this? Can I have that? That's their version of the DIY aisle.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can sit there. I'm going to go in, get myself a new top, get myself all the bits that I love, go down the pamper section, get all of that stuff. You can unpack it, get it in the car, take me home.
Yeah. And the fact that she said, some women are just made to be driven. I was just like, I replied to her, I just said, I actually think you're spot on there, actually.
Yeah, this is spot on.
I think, she's got it right.
Yeah, she's definitely got it right.
You just use them, don't you? Really? You think, do you know what? I do fucking everything in this house. You can take me to the supermarket. You can sit in a fucking car. And when I'm done, you can put the bags in the boot and you can take the trolley back. And then you can drive me home. You just basically use them. I think that's a good way to live.
Use them.
Just use them for the shit you need them to do.
Yeah, you can take me.
Yeah.
That is another that
Classic.
Goes into that airport parking one that she said.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just listen to that clip on our Instagram when I'm feeling down.
When you're feeling low.
When I've had hot dogs from Sunday lunch and I'm feeling low.
Feeling very low.
Very low. Yeah, very funny, Lucy. I am with you. That is absolute gold.
Yeah, it's the classic, with her accent and all that, isn't it? She's great.
It just works, doesn't it?
It does. It just works.
Just works.
It bloody works.
It bloody works, can't.
Right, now then, we had a Justin in from
Tivoli
_pics. her Justin is when you're in your small garden on your own and your neighbour is too, weirdly orcs. Which, it's kind of weird, isn't it? If you're in your garden, there's fences up, so you can't see anyone, but you can hear everything that's going on.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to pretend you can't.
I also think so. We live in a new build, and sometimes if I'm in the back bedroom, I can see over into my neighbour's garden on the right and the left. So we're not
Yes.
overlooked, but if you're up, you can't see into their house, but you can see into their garden.
You can see what's going on outside.
I tell you what is awkward, when they catch your eye.
And you're just looking.
You're like, do I wave like a psychopath? Do I look away? Like, they look up at the moment you're looking at their garden and you think, oh shit. And it goes slow motion and you catch eyes. You just sort of, hiya. That is really awkward.
Yeah, it is. All that is weird, isn't it?
I tell you what happened to me. In the gym last week. One of my friends came in late to our exercise class and it started, and I thought she was looking over at me.
Yeah.
So I did a massive wave. It was like, I can't. She hadn't seen me, but I was in this exercise class in the middle of doing something. Hiya, Karma. Oh no, she hasn't seen me or heard me because the music's too loud. Oh.
That, or she's just deliberately ignored you.
Karma wouldn't deliberately ignore me. She loves me.
What's her name? Karma?
Karma.
Oh, as in...
Karma's a
bitch.
Karma. As in Karma's a bitch, yeah.
Oh, wow, Karma.
Spelt differently, though. Karma.
That is how Karma is spelt.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Is that how Karma's spelled? I thought it was Kamer.
No. Again,
Karma.
really confused. Spelled differently though. Karma. No, that is how it's spelled.
Is it? Shit! Every day's a school day. Right, what has been getting on your shitting tits?
Okay, right, we've had a great tits in from Danny Mason 85. Now, Danny, she's actually been...
Danny is really gone top of the class.
She's upped her game a lot recently, Danny, hasn't she? Danny Mason.
Yeah. Well done, Danny Mason.
Danny Mason 85. So her tits is passwords. They must contain 8 letters, 1 number, a symbol, a hieroglyph, the blood of a virgin. Why are they so...
Well,
now it even comes up, if you reuse one, it goes, no, you're using that elsewhere. Well, yeah, I'm using it fucking elsewhere because I can't remember shit.
So I had to do some boxfish training.
Boxfish?
Yeah, which is where it's all about like cyber security, and they've done a whole training video where I work purely on passwords, how to set a strong password, how now the other I was doing this training last week, and I don't know why. I've been voice noting my friend Adam, and I just decided to play him a voice note part of this training, right? Because it was so boring. I just hit record on my phone and voice noted him. This woman saying, "You cannot use the same password." He voice noted me back saying, "Ruth, if you ever fucking send me a voice note like that again, I'm never going to talk to you."
Fair enough, actually, Adam. I
Honestly,
totally agree.
It was like, when you think of a password, make sure you had to answer questions. Is this a secure password? No, of course it's not, because you've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I'm not thick. I'm not going to do that.
No. It's also that thing now, like Danny Mason says, you got to use a symbol, a number, a hieroglyph, the blood from your womb. You've got to literally give over so much of yourself, locking it down,
lock it in. Lock it down.
And then when you have to put it in, then it says confirm. Oh, fucking hell, I can't remember what I've done. I have to go back and do it again.
and you try and copy and paste the
Oh, it won't
previous
let
bit
you.
above. Won't let you.
No,
Won't let you do that. You've got to
none of this.
remember that you did a password and you put 673
Yeah.
HG. Like,
Yeah.
also, when they suggest a strong password,
Oh,
I
have
know
you
lots of
seen
things
them?
ask now if you want to save it. But
Mm,
I'm just like, I don't trust you're going to save it, and then I'm going to
No.
try and get into this.
Have you
And I'm
seen
not-
some of those ones they
It's like-
recommend to you?
GXZ hyphen exclamation mark 621 GZL semicolon colon piece of shit plus minus negative exclamation mark. Will that do for you? Do you want me to remember? Yes, of course I do.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what I did yesterday, let alone that.
No, I just quite often just do forget password every time. Just put it.
Oh, that is annoying. No, I couldn't do
Yeah.
that.
Because sometimes I just.
What? You have
Yeah,
but
I just
that
chuck
is
something else.
that's a real ball ache.
Yeah,
Then you have to go in and verify your email address, and I get really pissed off when I can't get into something. It really fucking irritates
Yeah.
me. What is the second letter of your password? B. This is incorrect. Fuck off! What is the seventh letter of your password? 2. This is incorrect. What the fuck? You know what is funny though? Now, like on automated banking and stuff,
Yeah.
you have to say my voice is my password. Well, you have to do that with HSBC.
Hey? You say my voice is my password.
Yeah, so instead of you having to put in a password, they record
Yeah.
you saying and then when my voice is my password, and then when you
Oh.
phone up for automated banking, you have to say my voice is my password, right?
Oh.
So it's voice recognition. Anyway, this is going back like probably almost a year now. I was at Mal and Marg's, and Mal
Yeah.
was trying to get onto his business HSBC account, and in the kitchen I just kept hearing, "My voice is my password." Please say it again. Flaming bloody hell. My voice is my password. This has not been recognised. Please, for goodness. Then he'd go, my voice is my password. Please wait while we put you through to an advisor. And you just think, I was in the living room thinking, that poor advisor.
Yeah.
It's not his fault.
No, but
Mal
he's
was
going to
right.
feel the full wrath.
Well, Mal was straight in there. Right, just before I get to my problem that I've got, which is with one of my bank accounts, which is actually quite annoying because I need to transfer some money. Anyway, I will get on to that with you. What is it with that flaming bloody automated thing at the beginning? I've been saying, my daughter will vouch for me. You know, he starts saying, Ruth, come in. It's like, Dad, man, chill.
Yeah.
It's not this bloke's fault.
No, but I totally get it. I do get it. You know, if you keep on repeating things and it's just not recognising what you're phoning for. It's like if you phone up for anything and what is it you're phoning about? And you say, I don't know, I've got a problem with accessing my bank statements. Sorry, could you repeat that? You just think, okay, I've said too much. Problem, bank statements. Sorry, we still don't understand what you're saying. Please tell us in 2 words what you're calling about. Bank statements. We'll just put you through.
Or they go, then you get, if you would like to access your bank statements, you can do that online. No, I've tried that, but you're only giving me 2 words. I can't say anything else. You can access this call is not needed for an advisor. You can access your bank statements online. Goodbye. Oh my God. It's like the call just ends. Or you say, accessing my credit card. If you've got a problem with your credit card, you just need to remember your 13-digit password, your mother's maiden name, the city you were born in, and your inside leg measurement. Goodbye.
It's also, have you ever used those like chats online as well?
Oh God.
Exactly the same thing, and I've done it before where it comes to say, please tell me what your problem is. I've written like a paragraph of information. I ordered this online and I wanted it to be delivered, then it didn't arrive, and then I've tried contacting over it. You write this paragraph and it just comes back saying, I don't understand. Like, what have you asked me to put that in? Like, are you contacting us about a delivery? Yes. Please tell us what the problem is. Paragraph. Sorry, we don't understand that. It's just like you cannot talk to anyone now.
No.
You can't pick up a phone.
Can't, can you?
And say, hello, Sheila, I've got a problem with my bank statements. Can you help me?
Just so you know, Ange is doing the phone to
I'm
her
doing
ear
the
at this point with the fingers, just because you can't see. She is doing the rock and roll signal that is the phone. Yeah, I just get annoyed when it's like, you can deal with this on our website. Goodbye. Don't you think I tried that first? I'm not thick. I've gone to your website 3 times. It doesn't give me what I want. So let me
No.
speak to Sheila. Sheila's not available. Goodbye.
Sheila only works Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Goodbye.
She's actually now on annual leave until January 2026. So there we go. That was a
Very
great
good.
tits in from Danny Mason.
Very
85.
good, Danny Mason.
Yeah, very good.
So I thought we could end with an anonymous question.
Okay, yes. Yeah, was this from one of the ones from last week?
Couple of weeks ago, yeah.
A couple of weeks ago.
So for those of you that don't know, Ange, James and I were all raised in the Salvation Army.
Mm-hmm.
And this question says, what is your relationship with the Salvation Army now and why? What was it like growing up in it? And what are your thoughts on it now and then?
Oh, wow.
So for those of you that don't know, the Salvation Army is a church. Lots of people think of it as a charity, which it is, and it does lots and lots of work, really good work. But it was the family church that our family went to. I mean, since birth, really. We were all there from very, very little. Our parents were both heavily involved. Our mum run the kind of Sunday school, kids' church stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Dad was heavily involved in music. And this person obviously wants to know what it was like growing up in the Salvation Army and what's our relationship like with it now.
I mean, I have really fond memories
Same.
of kind of being in the Salvation Army, being part of it. I think it was something that was, I think it's one of those things when you're in it, it's just normal that was part of our life. It was, we'd go on it actually kind of completely takes over your life if you're that involved in it, like we were at that point when we were younger. All day on a Sunday, then you'd have, something on a Monday, something on a Wednesday, there's something else. Yeah. It literally was something happening most nights. And if it wasn't us, it would be mum or dad that would be out do something. Yeah. So I think there was that element of it that I think when you're in it, you just are in it and that just is normal to you.
Yeah.
I think it's only when you kind of step away from it that you sort of go, bloody hell, that was very full on. Yeah, that was a lot. But I have really fond memories of the people that we knew, the friends that we made. Obviously, the Salvation Army is, like you said, lots of people just think it is just a charity rather than a church, but it is a church and it is very, very heavily music orientated. Like you play an instrument, you sing in a choir, and we used to have these like annual kind of music schools where we'd go away for a week and we'd kind of like stay away, we'd make loads of friends, and so that part of it I actually really remember fondly.
Same.
And think
and
it
you
was
wouldn't
a
have
really...
met Ian without the Salvation Army. You and Ian would, although we didn't go to the same church, it was through mutual friends that you and Ian met. So you wouldn't have that part of your life. That's why we don't like it. That's why we don't like the Salvation Army anymore. Jokes.
So I think there were lots of great things about it, and I remember it fondly. I think since it not being such a part of our lives, in fact not at all, other than the contact that we still have with people that we knew at that time, I think I look at it now in quite a different way, and I think it probably, I think the thing is, it's like a lot of churches. It was very everything was all about kind of what you wore, you had to wear a uniform. It was like you had to play in a band. We didn't have to, but that was very much kind of the driver, was that you were being in these things. And I kind of, on reflection, feel like I don't really remember a huge amount being about kind of my relationship with God, or the importance of that, and kind of developing a relationship, or even kind of wanting to really understand, what Christianity is about, and all of those things. So I think there's part of it that I really remember fondly, and I'm really grateful that we had parts of that growing up. And I think coming into adulthood and sort of looking back, I kind of do, I think of it quite differently now.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that for me, like, there's so much of my value base that has been driven from the Salvation Army, like
Yes.
the kind of social injustice. How do you help your neighbour? Like, I think, the real roots of the Salvation Army, in terms of, if you think about why it was started, it was about social action. They're the biggest provider of social care after the local authority. I mean, the Salvation Army do huge amounts for
Yes.
drug and alcohol and vulnerable people and stuff. And I think so much
Homelessness.
of our family's values actually are derived from, how do you help the person that's got nothing? And how do our mum was the leader of the kids' church, and she would bus in a load of kids from very, very deprived areas. And actually there was a real grounding for those children in that. And I sort of remember really fondly the things that we tried to do to help others. And I think that's the kind of biggest thing for me. I think the thing that I look back on now is sort of how much it sheltered my life, but perhaps not in the most brilliant of ways. So for those of you that don't know anything about the Salvation Army, like, I'm not saying that alcohol is the be all and end all, but we were in the Salvation Army till I was 15, and then our parents left and they went to an Anglican church. But just, I'd never been exposed to like wine at the dinner table,
No.
or I'd never been exposed to, there was like a sort of frowning upon people that sort of drunk or got drunk, and actually, I'm not saying that that's what your youth should be about, but there is a sense of growing and developing in that time of adolescence that perhaps I don't feel I got as a result of being part of that. And I feel like it sheltered me a bit too much. Like, I look back now on my growing up, like a Friday night, we'd all go to the youth club, and we did that right up until I left at like 15, 16. We'd be down there helping at the youth club. I just sort of feel like it robbed me a little bit of wider understandings of the world, and that it was so heavily regimented, and it was so bureaucratic at points. It was so full of like, you do this, you don't do this, you live like this, you don't live like this, that I lost that sense of growing in identity in adolescence. And I think that's the thing that I find the hardest now, is the things about the world that it didn't teach me, that I had to learn later because I wasn't exposed to it.
Yeah. No, I'd agree. And I think that is just, I mean, I suppose it's slightly different with the Salvation Army because it was so kind of like,
Regimented.
And the reason why you kind of, you didn't drink was because of William Booth, who kind of founded it, and he saw the kind of the destruction that kind of brought to people's lives, that those things that and I suppose that's the thing, it was quite extreme in a lot of ways.
Well, it was like an army, wasn't it? There was a very distinct hierarchy. There was very, very distinct rules and regulations. It was quite doctrinated. It was, like, I feel like that was difficult, actually, as a teenager, to exist and grow up in, and to not be exposed to other ways of life. I guess. But I love the Salvation Army. I love what they do. I love the injustice stuff that they do. You think Christmas Day, you know, the Salvation Army Hall on Christmas Day would have been open for anyone. Like, they are the leaders in lonely people having, you know, other churches are starting to do that now, but the Salvation Army have been opening their doors on Christmas Day for centuries to have people who are lonely or don't have any family. You know, it's sort of the driver of what they do.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I think the value base that it gave me, the understanding that there is always most likely somebody worse off than you, has been such a fundamental part of my life. And I don't know if I would have quite, you know, I remember Christmas Eve with Dad dropping hampers to people who had nothing. And, you know, mothers crying at the door saying, my kids wouldn't have got any presents tomorrow if it wasn't for you bringing me this. You know, giving a selection box to a kid the week before Christmas and it being like you'd given them the world. Those things will stay with me forever.
Yeah. I think it's probably probably just kind of religion, you know, as a whole kind of has those things that actually can give you really good base for, like you say, kind of your morals and kind of being able to sort of like see how fortunate you are in comparison to others, wanting to help people. And I think that can be, and I think that's the thing. I think our experience is completely the Salvation Army, but I reckon if you spoke to, you know, Catholics or Anglicans,
Baptists
I think
or,
I think everyone would have probably a similar, you know, story about what they have experienced, and it's just ours is obviously through the Salvation Army, which comes with lots of slightly odd things. But I think what it gave us as young, you know, as children and young people, I think has really kind of gone on to make us the people that we are in our adulthood. And
I agree.
I think it's kind of good to look at it in that way, you know. So,
well, there we go.
Great question.
That's another episode in the bag.
Yes.
Remember, there's loads of ways you can get in touch with Ange and I. You can find us both on Instagram. I'm at Ruth_Corden. She's at Ange Corden.
You can find the podcast on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search Finding the Funny Podcast.
Or you can send us an email, findingthefunnypodcast@gmail.com. But Ange and I will be back next week helping you to find more of the funny.